right, welcome back for another episode of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the video and article that I do for comicbookinvest.com, where I talk about those books you can still find tucked away in those cheap boxes, those dollar bins, those discount stacks, wherever you can find your cheap comics. These are the things I think you should be looking for based on this week's news, rumors, some speculation, things going on in the comics, Disney Plus, all that stuff that makes us go looking for comic books. These are some books you might still be able to find in those cheap boxes. And before you start making fun of me wearing the same shirt on like the last three videos, this is actually a different shirt from the shirt I wore in the last two for Chasing Ghosts and Hidden Gems, because those were the Doctor Select. This is the Doctor Who villains on this shirt, so it is a different shirt. But that all said, hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. We are on our way to 2K. We only need, I think, about 25 more subscribers, and we will hit that minor milestone for me, and then we can give away a bunch of stuff. I got a whole pile of things I'm trying to put together into some prizes to give away once I hit 2K. And I did say prizes, so it's not just going to be one. It may be two, maybe even three. I don't know. I'm still working out the details on what I'm going to do, but we only got 25 left. So 25 more subs, and we will be hitting 2K. Thank you again for all the support. And if you want to see the books I want to talk about this week, you just need to hang on for a few seconds after the intro, as I will be right back. All right, so for this week, there was a lot of news, actually. I had to make some cuts with some of my picks here. I think I had about like 8 or 9 different news items where I had potential books, but I felt like it would go on too long, and maybe I might even save some of these extras for next week, like some of that Nightwing stuff. But mostly this week is going to be Marvel, because a lot of stuff just started hitting as far as the comics, like I said, and shows and all that stuff. So our first bit of news hitting this week has to deal with the Unforgiven, well, the title Unforgiven, that's going to be coming out from Marvel pretty soon, and it's going to take us back to a team called the Forgiven that was introduced a while back. Looks like it's going to be like a vampire. I don't know if they're going to be heroes, villains, or what kind of story it's going to be, but this book, like I said, is coming soon, probably in around Halloween time. But Spider-Man Unforgiven, there's another title too. I don't know if it's Avengers or X-Men or whatever it is, but there's a couple of Unforgiven specials coming out. And again, it's going to feature these vampire characters that we have seen before. We have seen them actually in Fear Itself, Hulk versus Dracula #1. This is a 3-issue mini. I think it had Stegman art, Delato cover, really cool here. So just for the Delato cover alone, it is pretty cool. But this first issue of the 3-issue mini is the first appearance of this team of vampires called the Forgiven. So looks like these guys are coming back. And I don't know if you remember Fear Itself, but it was a Marvel event that they printed a lot of copies. Maybe not so much of these side minis, but this is the kind of stuff you can still find out there in those cheap boxes. And even online, it's not too bad yet. But if you find it in a box, who knows where it might go. You can see here recent copies are sold for like $4.60, $2.50, and $12 for the whole mini of issues 1 through 3 there. And those cheap copies that were like $4 and $2.50, they're actually from the UK, so shipping's a little high on both of those. So it's kind of depending on where the buyer was, how much they actually spent for those issues. But those are the sold copies. If you were looking to buy online right now, this actually isn't that cheap. I mean, yeah, issue 1's asking like $12 to $15 for issue 1, or then you can see like the whole set of 1 through 3 could be $20 with free shipping. So it's not too expensive. It might be a little bit over cover as far as the asking prices go, but once again, who knows where this might go, or if this team has any legs of any kind. But Marvel is trying to do more horror-themed stuff, as we know, going forward. We got that horror special coming to Disney Plus at some point with Werewolf by Night. So maybe we start seeing some more of these vampire and creatures of the night type characters, not only in the comics, but maybe even on our streaming services. But, it's just another book, like I said. Keep an eye out for it, because you can probably find this one out there. So that's one for the list. Up next, we got a little bit of a rumor, some speculation on the villain for the Echo series, which we know we're going to get. Yeah, we know Daredevil's probably going to be in it. Kingpin's probably going to be in it. But some news or some speculation, I guess, is putting out there that we might see these Daredevil villains. These what are they? The Black Knife. Can't think of the name off the top of my head. We'll get there. But they first appeared in Bullseye #1. This came out in like 2017. I don't know if you remember that run with the Running with the Devil. They had these minis. There was a Kingpin mini. There was an Elektra mini. And then Bullseye had a mini. It's like 5 issues. But the Black Knight Cartel, that's what their name is. So in issue 1 of the Bullseye, we get introduced. Well, this is, I think, the main, the leader of this Black Knife Cartel. But the whole idea of these villains, this team, and it makes sense for the Echo series. There'll be another gang type for them to mix it up with. So the Black Knife Cartel would make some sense. And like I said, they first show up in this Bullseye book from 2017. And again, this is not a book that's very expensive, and it's a book that you can probably find in those overstock boxes. Again, a few years ago, 2017, I think, is when this came out. Copies have sold on this one. It's also the first appearance of another character too in this issue 1. I think it was like an agent, Joy something, and I think she ended up going by the name Vendetta. So you get like a twofer, bit of a first appearance in this book if you can find it. So that's always helpful. But getting back to the pricing, $3.50, $6 individual for issue 1. The whole lot of issues 1 through 5, you see that a lot out there, like $20 or so will get you the whole run, and that's like cover price for the most part. So this is really just a cover price buy, but you can probably find it for cheaper than cover if you hit up your spots, wherever you get your cheap books, your half price books, whatever. So hunt for cheap. That's what I'm recommending. Hunt for the cheap versions. And you can see even the asking price, it's a little over cover, $6, $8. So it's a little bit of a bump, maybe double cover, but that's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you, check the cheap boxes, the dollar bins, the $2 bins, however your shop or wherever you're buying your cheap comics, however they price. That's what I'm saying. Look for the cheap stuff. Yeah, because who knows if anything's going to come of this. Could be nothing. It could all be nonsense, but it doesn't hurt to grab a book like this, on the cheap. Because, like I said, this one has a couple of firsts in it. Moving on, I got another one for you. Another one based on some stuff happening in the comics. Thanos' latest resurrection has a shocking secret, which I'm about to spoil if you didn't know this already. But over in the Genisville Captain Marvel series, I think issue 2 here, we get a reveal because we did have Thanos return. I was like, oh no, Thanos is back. Thanos is back. But the big reveal here is that it actually isn't Thanos. It is a Skrull. And we're getting Secret Invasion. We're getting some more Skrull-type characters. So it is interesting with the timing of this. But the Skrull in question here is Jazinda, who we know from She-Hulk from way back in the day. And yes, she was playing as Thanos here in this series. Again, I don't know if we're going to see a character of her in the Secret Invasion or not. I'm pretty sure that the Meet the Skrulls is the angle they're kind of going with, but I mean, who knows? They can pivot. We can see mention or even appearances of any Skrull that's been out there. Jazinda is the daughter of the Super Skrull. I think it's Clert. I don't know. It's Skrull names can be kind of weird, and especially how you pronounce it. I can't pronounce regular names properly, but she is the Super Skrull's daughter. And here we go. This was her faking being Thanos, but her first appearance, if you're interested, goes back to She-Hulk, as I mentioned a little bit before. She-Hulk number 22. This is that pretty awesome Deodato run. He had a great cover run at this time, and I think I talked about the cover run on Dollar Bin Digging years ago, actually, at this point. But just different takes. Like, look, she's breaking through the page at you. He had some very interesting angles and ways that he played with the trade dress and just the perspective. A really good run for Deodato on this era of She-Hulk. But in issues 22 and 23, we get introduced to Jazinda here. Technically, her first is, I know some places might list it as cameo, but she is in a good portion of the book. She's just not as a Skrull. She's here as, this character here in a human form as like a bounty hunter that's working with She-Hulk, and they're going after the Absorbing Man, I think, at this stage. But she appears in a decent amount in issue 22. It isn't until issue 23 that we see her revert to the Skrull face, the Skrull form, that we see that's who she is. I mean, she gets her neck broken in the issue 22, and she's walking around with her head all jacked up. It's a interesting little story. But 22, 23, you can sometimes find these packaged together, at least as online sales go, as her first. So keep an eye out for both. I'm only going to really give you the pricing on the first one though. Like I said, there's 23. Another awesome cover, as you can see. Even it's on a bit smaller, but you got the puddles forming the trade dress. I like it. Like I said, good cover run. Copies of 22. You can see they sell 25 bucks, 26 bucks. It's not too cheap, actually. I was surprised the pricing on this. So maybe She-Hulk excitement is real, and some of these books are getting pricier. It's not just like She-Hulk 1 and Sensational She-Hulk 1. Like there's some oddball She-Hulk books here that apparently are seeing a little bit of action. So I was a little surprised by that, but I still think you could find these. If you go digging, you can still probably find some of these She-Hulk books. And asking prices again is in that $25 range for this one. Like I said, I did see some other listings where it was 22 and 23 together. They might have been also in that same kind of price range. So yeah, do some shopping. Again, I'm not saying pay the asking prices online. Look in the cheap boxes. Look, cover price or less. Do some discount bin digging is what I'm saying. So that's the one I'm recommending you keep an eye out for based on again what's going on in the comics. We get new news every week. I mean, we're getting new batches of comics, new stories every week. So we're getting fresh takes everywhere. So there's always going to be stuff for us to go and hunt. And next up, here we have another example of that. Who would have expected we're going to get a character like Cerebral back? I probably wouldn't have guessed that, but Professor X's future replacement officially returns in Marvel continuity. But it's in Marauders #5. Again, recent book here in the current the current publications of Marvel. We get the return of Cerebra. Like I completely forgot about this character, let alone what I thought she's going to show up in regular 616 kind of like continuity. But if you don't know who we're talking about, she is a character from X-Men 2099, and it's 2022. So I know 77 years seems like a long way away, but it's not as far off as when they first started this. So keep that in mind as well. Ron Lim did the art here, but X-Men 2099, that foil cover, foil border, I always still grab. If it's not all bent up, I still grab these out of the dollar bin whenever I see them. It's still not a pricey book because they did print plenty of them, but it's still a fun book to go and hunt. And again, you get first appearances. I mean, apart from Cerebral, you're getting this whole crew, a whole squad. It would be first appearances. So you can see here it sells $2 to $4, $5. It's not an expensive book at all. Asking price is also in that kind of $3 range, $9 range. Yeah, it says $9, but that's with free shipping. So half of that price is shipping. So it's again $5 at the most is really what we're talking about here. It's not an expensive book, but still a fun one to go and hunt. And you can, like I said, you can find these in the dollar bins. The X-Men 2099 run, I still see them all the time. Don't always see #1 because people like to grab #1s, but when I do see it, if it's in good shape, I usually grab it because I don't know, have it, you know? That said, the next book, and when I was looking up I was doing some research, and Comic Vine listed this is actually her first appearance, but it doesn't make sense that this would be her first appearance because the way you had to get this next book was you had to mail in like coupons from the 2099 books to get this sketchbook. But this 2099 sketchbook, they listed as their first. Again, no real date set on it, but it was still also 1993. I don't think this came first, but it's still a fun thing to hunt. So I would hunt this 2099 sketchbook because, like I said, from what I gathered, you had, and I don't remember because this was decades ago now. But from what I gathered, you had to mail away things that were in the 2099 books at the time. So I'm guessing like Spider-Man 2099, X-Men 2099. I don't know if Punisher or Doom were out yet, but maybe Ravage. I don't know. But the 2099 books of the time, you had to get apparently mail in some sort of like ticket or coupon or something, and you could get yourself this sketchbook. And yeah, inside this sketchbook, it's just designs of like the characters and things like that. So yeah, you're getting a lot of, of the design work of these characters, including Cerebra, who spawned this little side track down memory lane. But that all said, I still think this is a cool book to go and hunt and look for. It is just like a promo copy. It was given away, like I said, it was free. You get free with all I guess those mail-ins. But if you can find it, here's a copy that's sold. I only found the one sale, and it was paired up again with 2099 unlimited there. So for 425 for the pair of them. The only one I could find as far as recent sales go. And then when I was trying to find a pricing for available, I couldn't find any. So this could be kind of tough to find, especially these days. It's probably tucked in those boxes. Like I said, it was like a promo book. So this is something that's probably just jammed in the dollar bins and those cheap bins and just not paid any any respect. Like, it's probably not even bagged and boarded. It's just stuck in there with all kinds of extra posters and things like that, just squeezed between books. But still a fun thing to hunt. And with that, let's move on to our next story. Might be our last one. I'm not sure, but this could be the last one. Marvel's newest god just gave the whole world a glimpse of Oblivion. And this is a Sentinel. Not Sentinel, Celestial. Misspoke. So in the most recent episode, I guess you could say, of the Avengers X-Men Eternals crossover Judgment Day, we get a taste of what Oblivion would look like, as all of the heroes are fighting the giant Celestial, only to see the world get destroyed, to realize they're actually fighting in the Celestial's mind. But here we have the Celestial in question. Blanking the name again. The progenitor? Anyway, this Celestial in the recent Avengers run first appeared in issue 3, which has multiple printings, by the way. This is the first print. There's tons of these out there. I've passed through this book many times in the box. This is where we also go back and you get like the Avengers, the 1 million BC type guys are kind of like in like backup stories throughout like this run. This is 2018, I believe. So this is this renumbering of the current run that's actually running right now. So issue 3, Loki on the cover. Like I said, there's multiple covers. You got not multiple printings. There's a second print, third print. They're reusing interior art on those extra covers, but those are not the Sentinel, I guess. Like, I keep saying Sentinel. Celestial in question. The Celestial in question shows up at the end of issue 3, the Progenitor. Yeah, Progenitor. I was having a hard time pronouncing things today. But this was apparently the first Celestial that was infected with some like a horde virus thing here, and I think he like came to Earth to die, and he ended up like, I think, just being locked away in like the North Pole or something. But first Celestial on Earth, that's the story, and I guess he's been reawoken, and he's causing all kind of trouble in the current continuity. But the first appearance, I said, goes back a few years to, like I said, 2018. And again, not a pricey book. This is not an expensive book at all. Plenty of copies out there. You can find it in those bins, but most of the prices online are right around $5. So it's right a little above cover, actually, which is kind of surprising, because I think it was $3.99 for the regular cover. But the only copy I could find easily was there's a sale for $5, and then also asking prices, well, $3 with $5 shipping. So cover price or less. That's what we're talking about here, folks. It's just some fun stuff to go and hunt, to go and look for. I know I could have probably thrown out a few more stories in here, but I am doing this today. This is Thursday. It's about 6:45 Eastern time now. I still got to edit this up so I can get this out for 10 p.m. tonight to premiere it. Hopefully everything goes well and I can get that up and out there without any problems, because I do want to watch the Lord of the Rings show. That's premiering tonight too, so I got to make sure I'm free to check that out. So sidetracked. I'm getting sidetracked. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you still enjoyed this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you all coming in, checking out my shows, checking out all the things we have here on the channel, because we do have more stuff these days, and I am happy to share this space with some of my buddies. So make sure you're checking out the other shows as well. Mail Call Madness will be tomorrow, where Jedi and Dom will be going through some oddball reviews and some stuff, some B-movie type deals. Also opening up some of their packages. Saturday night special on Saturday. Matt and Kyle and Sam and Ish going to be giving you some news and some fun content there too, with another live show every Saturday. Sundays we also have the live Star Wars show, and then you come back on Monday for Hidden Gems, Chasing Ghosts with me, and then Attack Show live on Wednesday, and Dollar Bin again on Thursday, and we start the whole cycle over again. At least that's our current lineup here on Rennavision. Hopefully you are enjoying it. Hopefully you like all the shows that we have to share with you. Let me know in the comments about all of them. Let me know what you want to see more of. What do you like? What don't you like? Just let me know. Let's share. Let's have a conversation. And like I said, keep telling your friends so we can keep growing as we're getting so close to 2K. So close. And I'll probably throw out my own maybe pickups unboxings, because I got a stack of boxes here of some fun stuff that I want to share with you guys that I've been buying the last like couple of weeks. So we'll get into those pretty soon. Maybe next week I might drop some sort of extra video. Maybe I do member only first and then release everything. I don't know. I'm figuring things out, especially with the members the membership thing. I'm still figuring out what to do for content there. So again, bear with me. I got a stack of t-shirts here. It's like a store here. I got a stack of t-shirts I got to mail out this week still for everybody. And as I'm rambling on, thank you again. I will see you guys soon with some more content. I'm going to let you go so you don't have to listen to me babble. I'll go babble to myself or to my wife for a little bit. But with that said, I'll see you guys soon with some more content. All right, later.